Hey everyone, welcome to this Forge College Explainer. I'm absolutely thrilled to be your guide today. Go ahead and grab your hard hats because for this session, I'll be stepping into the shoes of your seasoned chief engineer. Imagine we're walking onto the factory floor right now, and this explainer, well, it's the final assembly line for your complex Solana program Capstone. You've spent all this time meticulously engineering the individual parts, but today is the day we actually build the machine. So let's dive right in. Okay, here's the blueprint for today's final inspection. We're going to move efficiently through 5 different stations. We'll start by putting the pieces together, test the machine, pack it up for deployment, write the instruction manual, and finally make sure it's completely ready for review.
But before we even hit that first station, we have to pause and ask the ultimate question of software engineering, right? What does done actually look like? In our previous lesson, preparing deployment artifacts and checks, we went through and gathered all our deployment materials, we scoped the project out, we wrote the test suites, and we prepped those artifacts. But as you probably know, having a pile of really great materials isn't quite the same thing as having a finished working product. Today, done means having a verified, totally reproducible repository that is 100% ready to be handed over to a reviewer. All right, moving to station 1, putting the pieces together, starting with integrating the code modules.
Welcome to the floor, junior engineers. It is time to take those beautifully crafted Rust modules and physically merge them right into our canonical source layout. You're going to organize them cleanly into your on-chain programs directory and your off-chain client directory. From there, and listen, this is absolutely non-negotiable, you have to confirm that your cross-program invocation or CPI call signatures perfectly match your API contracts. If they don't align, the whole machine just jams up. And finally, go in and strip out any debug flags. We definitely do not want test-only codes sneaking into our polished final build.
Which brings us to the most important part, proving that it actually builds. You need to run your documented build command, something like anchor build, and this is absolutely crucial. Save that exact log output straight to your build/logs directory. That log file is essentially your hard evidence of a clean compilation. Oh, and if you had to tweak any dependency versions to actually get that clean build, just make sure you dutifully record those fixes in your changelog.md. Let's move down the line to section 2. Testing the machine by running the integration test suite.
Okay, we've got the pieces integrated. Now it's time to fire up the engine. Start your local validator to create a nice safe sandbox, and then fund your test accounts with local LAMP ports using the CLI faucet. Once everything is deployed locally, you can run your deterministic tests. I really cannot stress this enough. Your test harness has to seed accounts deterministically so that every single run is exactly reproducible. And hey, if your tests rely on simulated CPI partner programs, make absolutely sure those are deployed locally too.
Of course, testing the machine isn't just about making sure the functional flows work, it's about structural integrity. You've got to run your static checks. Make sure your linter actually passes, run Clippy, enforce strict formatting, and definitely do a memory safety pass on your public API. If you stumble across a non-trivial issue or a residual risk you're accepting, you must record it in your security.md file. The safety inspector needs to know you actually checked the structural beams.
Next up, section 3, packing for deployment. We're looking at artifacts and checklists.
Listen closely here. We are strictly preparing the payload for inspection today. We are not launching the rocket just yet. Think about a controlled dry run versus an uncontrolled mainnet push. A dry run is safe, it's local, and it's completely secure. On the flip side, pushing unverified code blindly to the mainnet, that's literally like blindfolding yourself while riding a roller coaster. It's pure panic. Stick to the safe route. Your deploy script absolutely needs a dry run mode that verifies everything without attempting to sign a single thing.
And what exactly should be the output of that safe, controlled process? A pristine bundle.tar.z file. Your deployment script has to produce this package containing your binaries, your manifests, and your program IDs. But crucially, and honestly, I will dock points if I see this, it must omit any private keys. No private keys. Use environment variable placeholders instead and keep the whole thing secure.
Over to section 4. Writing the instruction manual and finalizing the docs.
Think about it like this. The greatest, most beautifully engineered machine in the world is completely useless if the safety inspector doesn't have the user manual. We expect a very specific repository layout schematic. Your programs directory holds your on-chain crates, tests contains your integration harness, deploy houses your scripts and artifacts, and docs is the home for your architecture and APIs. Using this exact canonical structure tells the reviewer precisely where to find every single thing. Inside that documentation folder, you've got to include your standard manuals, your README, your architecture, API, and security markdown files. But pay special attention to deployment.md. This file must include the exact dry run command sequences so reviewers can verify your packaging without needing your private keys. Every single file must clearly state how to reproduce your tests and validate your CPI behaviors. Finally, Section 5, ready for review. This is the final checkpoint.
We need a complete self-audit before we hand over the keys. This is your ultimate acceptance criteria checklist. You need a verified build log, and your integration tests must have 0 failures. Seriously, if even one test fails, you do not submit. Your deployment artifacts must run flawlessly in dry run mode, and your documentation bundle has to make everything fully reproducible. Missing a single reproduction command? Scratch that. Step back, fix it, and rerun the checkpoint. If you want to guarantee a successful, reviewer-approved Capstone submission, you need to engrave these 3 core engineering principles from our source material into your mind right now. Reproducibility, contract consistency, and safety by design. Document your exact commands, ensure your CPI interfaces perfectly match your docs, and prep everything in dry run mode without exposing a single private key.
Now, before we wrap up our factory tour today, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative question. Think about this. Do your documented API layouts match your serialized test bytes exactly? You got to be super careful here because mismatched bytes will break absolutely everything at runtime. And that is exactly what we're going to cover in the next module of our Advanced Solana Program Structures course, titled Why Serialization Matters. You will definitely want to make sure your API documentation and test fixtures are fully up to date for that one. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the assembly line for this Forge College Explainer. I am incredibly proud of the resilient Web3 machines that you're all building. Please be sure to visit forge.college to dive deeper into this subject and continue your journey to blockchain mastery. Until next time, keep your builds clean and your tests deterministic.